And now, live from the studios of Freedom's Phoenix, Ernest Hancock.
Welcome back to Declare Your Independence. Me, Ernest Hancock, and a Declaration of Independence declaring kind of individual, Mr. Terry Bressi. Yeah, he's running against the wind. What we're going to do is I want to get right to the civil suit, but, one thing that I did want to bring up during all of this, that there was pressure that was put on your employer and you. They wanted to get them a piece of Terry because you've been going back and forth on a regular basis every week, a couple times a week, man. You're like, hello, am I being detained? I was just wondering, am I being detained? Am I being detained? And then you have cameras all around your vehicle and pointing back and everything. That's the guy. That's the guy. Let him go, man. Let him go. So, or that's the guy. Yeah. Do I F with him? You get him on? Yeah. No, what do you want me to do? Do we gonna beat him? Do we get to do it again today, y'all? I mean, this is the kind of stuff that goes on every day. And if you didn't have the videotaping, you couldn't convince a lot of people that this happens. And it's regular. So tell me, just give me highlights of some of the things they've done to try and make your life difficult.
Oh, geez. For the background there, since my encounter with the Tohono O'odham Police Department, the Department of Homeland Security has gone full tilt, and they set up a quasi-permanent checkpoint just a mile from the original location there. And it's manned 24/7 since January of 2008. It's been manned 24/7 by Border Patrol agents who aren't actually patrolling the border. So now every single time I have to drive up to Kit Peak, I have to go through a Border Patrol checkpoint. And learning from my experience with the tribal police, at that time I did not have any cameras. I didn't have any recording equipment with me back in 2002. And much to my, a little bit to my amazement, I discovered just how much police officers will lie, both perjure themselves in court and otherwise, when you try to hold them accountable. And when it's just your word against theirs, well, guess whose word the judge or the jury in many cases is going to take? They're going to take the police officers. So I learned my lesson from that experience as well, and I outfitted my vehicle with several cameras and recording equipment and cell phones and whatnot, so that every time I go to the checkpoint, I get a phone ready to go. I can call whoever I need to. I got cameras mounted at different angles and recording everything that's said and everything that's done. So there's no confusion as to what actually transpired. The cops or the Border Patrol agents won't be able to lie about what happened and why they had to beat me silly, because there's going to be video evidence to that effect. And
I think I got one or two of them calls. Okay. So now when you go through, what happens?
So now, 3 years later, they've kind of learned who I am by now, and for the most part, they just waved me through. But most recently, I had a greenhorn there at the primary stop location, and this is used as a training checkpoint. A lot of new agents coming out of the academy are sent here. They work the checkpoint for several months, and they move on to other assignments. So I get a lot of new agents that come through, and they don't have a clue. Or if they've heard of me, they don't know. They've never seen me before or whatnot. So that one you're just talking about just happened a month or so ago. I'm pulling up, and there's a Border Patrol agent with a drug-sniffing canine on the south side of the road. And as I'm pulling in, he's going, hey, guys, that's that guy. That's that guy. And the cameras are picking all this up, right? So I stop at the primary stop location, and the agent who stops me, he goes, oh, well, what am I supposed to do with him? Should I blank with him? And I'd use a word, but I guess we're on radio, so I can't actually use a word. But you can go to youtube.com/checkpointusa. You can see all of my Border Patrol checkpoint videos there. I've got them all loaded up. So the guy, he makes it clear that the purpose of these checkpoints isn't to interdict illegal aliens or anything else. It's to mess with the traveling public, to condition people to accept this arbitrary interference in their daily lives by armed agents who don't have a clue with regards to what the lawful scope of their authority is, and to put up with it.
It doesn't matter what the lawful scope of their authority is, because they'll just change the lawful scope. It's like I just go crazy when I deal with Christians that will just say, render unto Caesar that which is Caesar's and God's God's. And I'm like, I just got a question. Is there anything that's not Caesar's? I was just wondering, They They pass a law say this be Caesar's also, and that's okay. What kind of mindset do we have here?
Well, you're absolutely right. But the reason, the utility I get out of using that phrase is point out that even as they have this dynamic lawful scope that changes to their heart's content, at any given time, they're exceeding it on a regular basis, and they don't care. So you can point, it's a very easy tool to show the hypocrisy within the system, to say, look, this is how they're supposed to be doing it. It's laid out very clear in various court rulings and in the law and in the policies and procedures, but yet they violate it on a regular basis anyway.
Okay, so when you go through now, they're just like, move along, move along.
Move along.
Really?
Yeah, nowadays that's generally the case, unless I get a new agent who doesn't know who I am.
And then what happens? You have fun with them, do a little education, and what happens then? You get jackbooted thug? What?
I've got a couple more videos that I haven't put through yet, but I had one agent who clearly knew who I was, and I pulled up and I stopped, and we just stared at each other for about 20 seconds. He never said a word. I never said a word. He never asked me my immigration status or who it was. He just had that look like, get out of the car, buddy. Get out of the car. Give me any excuse. And then we just stared at each other, and after 20 seconds, he said, somebody go get me the spike strip, like he's trying to intimidate me now or something, right? So another 10 seconds go by, no one brings a spike strip around, so he walks around, grabs one, walks in front of my vehicle, throws a spike strip down, and then storms off, right? He's never said a word to me, so, what is it that he wants? I don't know. And about another 30 seconds later, an agent who I know I've had several interactions with said, "Oh, well, that's just Mr. Bressi. You can go on your way." And I said, "Well, what about the spike strip in front of my vehicle?" He goes, "Oh, hold on a second, let me get that." So it's that type of stuff that goes on kind of semi-regularly now.
What is the mindset of these people? How do they recruit? How are they trained? Are these Iraq veterans, or are they just from the hood, or they're looking for a job and they beat humanity out of them? They're just jack boots for the Jack Boot Club. What's going on?
Well, yes, all of those. From my research, the Border Patrol they get a lot of Army personnel coming back from overseas. So you definitely have that type of culture that's prominent in the Border Patrol. And you also have, they're recruiting from wherever they can find them. I've written several articles, and I've done a fair amount of research on this too. The Border Patrol is one of the least, they do the least number of background checks. They do the least number of vetting and verification before they hire a new guy. And they found many times over the years that, a year after they've hired somebody, that he's actually an illegal alien. The Border Patrol hires illegal aliens. They're working checkpoints.
Yeah, no, we hear a lot about that. All right, let's go ahead and get to the civil suit, man. The reason they're letting Terry go through is because they know he's just going, come on, make my day. And I have it on videotape. So let's go ahead and go through. You said, all right, now we're done with the criminal thing. And just in a couple of minutes, give me the Evelyn Wood version of this. Speed read me through it. We filed the civil suit, and what happens?
Okay, we filed the civil suit about a week after the charges were dismissed. We filed in state court because we wanted the state issues dealt with. The tribal police didn't like that. They got the federal attorney to sign a statement saying they were federal employees, and under the Federal Tort Claims Act, they couldn't be sued in state court and had to be moved to federal court. So they had the whole thing shifted up to federal court. Then when they got to federal court, they claimed that because they were tribal police officers, they were sovereign, and the federal court didn't have jurisdiction over them, and I didn't have a right to sue them at all. So we argued for 5 or 6 years over whether or not I even had the right to sue them, let alone the merits of the suit itself. And after about 5 or 6 years, Judge John Roll, who was the presiding judge down in the Tucson sector here, he ruled in favor of the tribe, said, these are sovereign immunity guys. You cannot sue them, so you don't have a case. Okay? So we said, well, that's clearly wrong. So we turned around and we filed a petition to the Ninth Circuit Court of Appeals. The Ninth Circuit reversed, reinstated my case, and now we're waiting to go to trial here in Tucson.
Oh, really? I thought you want... Oh, so it's not even done yet. Oh, my goodness. We got more to talk about here on Declare Your Independence. Me, Ernest Hancock, Terry Bressi, checkpointusa.org. Be right back.